So today what we're doing is we are going over the next 7 cards or 2 videos, which are shorts that are numbered, shorts 5 through 7 on Pokédex Filler's channel. And just start off right away. First we have Piyama the or Plama. Not sure how it's supposed to be pronounced. I believe it's Plama. 60 HP, it is a normal ice type Pokemon, which is why one of its attacks has a water energy cost. 20 damage for Snowy Snob for 1 water energy. Not too crazy of an attack, but since it has a specific energy, I give it 10 more damage than the usual basic attack. 2 of anything for Royal Treatment. Flip a coin if heads, search your deck for a card, put it into your hand. Not necessarily consistent, but it is good to be able to search your deck for any card you want. So flipping a coin seems like an okay chance, I guess. 60 HP because normal ice type. I don't believe that would be normally very tanky, but it's fine. Weakness to fighting because in the games, ice and normal are both weak to fighting. So Palama would be quad weak to fighting. Rock, it would be weak to rock as well, and then it would be neutral to ground. So fighting seems like a fair enough weakness. It resists psychic because it is immune to ghost, and that is pretty much its only usable resistance because the other option would be ice. And then a retreat cost of 1 because it's no really mentions of higher or lower speed. It just kind of exists, per se. So 1 retreat cost seems fair enough for a basic. Then, next up is its evolution, Lomgall. Lomgall has 110 HP because it is the evolution. It's still normal ice type, so there's no reason not to have it have roughly an average stage 1 HP. Frozen Fit, this attack does 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon with a base of 30. So the max on that is going to be 130 damage. Not anything too crazy, but for 2 energies, it's pretty good. And that is 1 water and 1 of anything. Then Frozen Thew is 20 damage times the number of water Pokemon you have in play. This is based off of Lomgall's signature move, which goes based off of, I believe, the ice type Pokemon in your party. So it has a damage cap of 100, but it also does not rely on damaging Lomgall or having damage on Lomgall. And the cap can be raised to 160 with Skyfield, the stadium from, I believe it is XY. So overall, not too crazy of a card, also not a bad card. Next up, we have Gustike, which is a flying type Pokemon, pure flying type, so it is normal on the cards, or colorless. 50 HP, flying types I believe are pretty weak normally as far as defenses and HP go. It is weak to electric because that is a flying type weakness. That is, it's 1 type and it's covered by the same type of card. Grass type is its resistance because it takes 30. It's resistant to grass and bug because it's flying type. So that makes perfect sense. Retreat cost of 1. It's a tornado. I probably could have gotten away with saying its retreat cost is 0, and that might be subject to change if I remake cards in the future. But for the time being, its retreat cost is going to be 1. Its attack, Leaf Scatter, shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 4 cards. This is a nerfed version of Windmill, an attack that Hawlucha has. One Hawlucha card that's colorless. It is a slightly nerfed version, but that is because this Pokemon evolves to Stage 1 and Stage 2. It does not remain a basic. Then Path Change, 30 damage, switch it with one of your bench Pokemon, kind of a reference to how tornadoes can change paths. Next up, we have, not Hurricana, not yet at least, we have Tornada. Tornada is the evolution of Gust-Tyke. It has Building Breaker for 1 energy. Many attacks already exist like this, but 20 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a fighting or steel Pokemon, it does 50 more damage. That is because buildings are normally made out of rock or steel in some form. Tricky Path. 30 damage for 2 of any energy. If your opponent played a supporter during his or her last turn, switch your opponent's active Pokemon with one of their bench Pokemon. This attack does 60 damage to the new active Pokemon. That is a play on Tornado Chasers. It can surprise them and change path and quickly get into their path and possibly cause harm to people. However, it's not common, but I wanted to play with that idea. Accidentally highlighted it. That was not what I meant to do. Then you have Hurricana, the final evolution for Tornada and Gust-Tyke. It has 140 HP because it is now Electric Flying type and it's a Stage 2. So still slightly below average for Stage 2s, I believe, at this point. But it doesn't hurt because it's an Electric Flying type and its attacks more than enough make up for it. Hurricane Winds for 3 energies. Shuffle the defending Pokemon and all cards attached to it into your opponent's deck. Some of you may recognize this as the Pidgeot from Unbroken Bonds, I believe it was. Had an attack called Strong Breeze, possibly. And there is a Staraptor from a more recent set that does the same thing. They both have the same cost. 3 of any energy to shuffle the defending Pokemon and all cards attached to it. Then Tropical Storm, 2 lightning, 2 of any, to do 190 and discard 2 lightning energy from this Pokemon. Hard hitting attack, harder to deal with cost, but with something like Electric Dynamo, Flaffy, I believe that is what the ability is, but you can always do your own research. I'm not 100% sure. You can easily recover those energies throughout the game, and you can repeatedly do this attack too, just having something like the Electric Circuit Magnezone from the same series as the Pidgeot. Its weakness is now water. That is because it is no longer weak to electric at all, but it is weak to ice because it is flying type. So even though it is neutral to water, it is weak to ice. So I thought it's probably the best answer I have because it is also immune to ground, which would be a weakness of electric, but it's flying, so it's immune to ground. So I can't use that. So I figured ice is probably still the next best thing. Resistance, same thing as the last couple evolutions. It's resistant to grass and bug. Retreat cost of 2 because it is the final stage. So I thought it would be worth upgrading the retreat cost ever so slightly. Next up, we have the Pristine Sharp Fossil, which is the fossil card for our first fossil Pokemon. It is a 70 HP fossil, and its ability is whenever it's attacked, you may put 2 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon so long as Sharp Fossil is in the active spot. Its Pokemon that evolves from it is Thermosaurus, which I thought was a very interesting Pokemon because it is based off of the Therizinosaurus, according to Pokédex fillers. And so I went on a small rabbit hole to learn about the Therizinosaurus, and from what I could find, it was actually a herbivore more than likely. So I give it the lava cooking attack as if it's cooking a berry or whatnot over lava because this Pokemon was said to live in volcanic areas as pictured on the card. So for one fire, one of any, 50 damage, heal 30 from this Pokemon. And Dino Eruption, little bit of a pun on eruption, 140 damage for 2 fire and 1 of any, and you discard a fire energy from this Pokemon. Not anything too crazy, but it's a pretty okay stage 1, I think. And that will be all for today. So if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe. All credit to these cards and their ideas behind them, more so to Pokédex fillers. He's the one who did the art, came up with the idea for the Pokemon. I am just the cards guy. And go and like and subscribe to his stuff if you enjoy the cards I create here, because yeah, they were his ideas originally. I'm just turning them into cards. And that'll be all.